thank you for showing up. Miss Yolanda, welcome to this little ceremony. And I am so glad to see my new colleagues. I just want to say that the story of Maximo has been in my mind since I was a child. I used to sit with him and he used to tell me different stories. And the part that I never forget is that he says, he was an Indian, so he used some very, how can I say, dramatic words. he used to say very crucial adjectives in his speech. So he said, this story that always kept bothering me is that they had decided to kill him. The people from the company with some of the people from the village. You know, in the villages, you usually have people who are with you and those who are against you. And usually those who are against you will try to bring you down, to kick you down. Well, he had this little set of people who used to go and tell Mr. Brown that he, Maximo, was planning to kill him. And so Mr. Brown, who was the overseer of the BEC, said, before he kills me, I'll kill him. So he sent word to the village that he wanted to meet the alcalde at night. You know, at night in the bush, there's no electricity, there is no, it's dark. So the villagers who were along with him told him, match, because that's the way he was called, match, no bias. Ese hombre te está esperando allá. No bias. And so they held him back. They said, you are not going to that meeting until the morning. And they said that in reality there were people hiding in the bushes waiting for him to be lynched. The following morning, he went and Mr. BEC said, I will give you land, I will give you money, you will have cattle, you will have job, you don't have to worry about anything. Just let those people find their way out from here. And when he heard that, he was insulted. And the person who told me about it said, Don Mach se levantó, jaló su sombrero y se le puso, y se paró. Y le dijo a Mr. Brown, somos indios y somos pobres, pero no somos pendejos. That's the words that he used. And I didn't believe it at first when the gentleman told me, but when speaking to him, he repeated that story to me. So I said, it's true. And from then he walked out. But it gave me the depth of his values that he had as a person. And to me that was very invaluable. And other aspects of his story, when he was dying, when he was very ill in his deathbed, I sat beside him and he said, you know, I think about the power that I had in my hands. Because he was the alcalde, he was the judge, he held a lot of responsibilities from the crown. And he was like policeman. So he had to send his counselors to arrest. And there was one gentleman who used to be his right hand. And that was Mr. Velasquez, Mr. Benito Velasquez. We have his granddaughter here, Mrs. Silvina Perez. Not Perez from our family, she's a Perez from Guatemala now. Miss Dolores was Perez from a Mexican. We are Perez from Don Mach. So Don Benito Velasquez was the only black man in San Jose Yalbac. I don't know how he got there. But we learned afterwards, I was researching his history, and he originally came from Honduras. But he was the policeman, and he would grab the prisoners, and they would take him to Cairo. So it was people like him that upheld my grandfather during his tenure as alcalde. And it wasn't easy. So he was telling me that day when I visited him, he said, ¿será tanto poder que yo tuve? ¿Será que fue bueno? So he questioned it. He was a person who thought about things. And he didn't go to school, but he was a very good writer, and he had beautiful handwriting, beautiful penmanship. So I asked him, Tatito, ¿dónde aprendiste a leer y a escribir? And he said, en los campos de chicle. So that at the end, when he was arrested because he was accused of subordination or not subordination, he was accused of uprising the people against Mr. Brown. He was brought to court, he was put in jail, and he won that case because there was a Jamaican lawyer who advised him. And it was after that court case that the gentleman lawyer advised him to ask help from the king. And so together with a Jesuit priest, because the Jesuit priest used to go say mass there every month, I don't know, they sat and wrote the letter to the Secretary General of the Commonwealth. And the Jesuit priest took the letter personally, and they got a response. And that is when BEC was ordered to pay them for what they had invested in the land or to give them another land. And that's how Palmar came to be here. It's as payment for all the development that they had done in the Yalbac village. So this village is not free. They earn it through blood and tears. And so we need to develop an appreciation. Unfortunately, his story was like Moses with the promised land. When he arrived here, a lot of people were angry with him because they came to nothing. There were no houses, there was no food, there was nothing. And they had to start from scratch. And many people blamed it on him. So many people did not like him. But I am proud of being a descendant from the Yalbac people. I am proud of being a Maya, like Andy says. Unfortunately, I can't speak the Maya, just know bad words in Maya. And I am proud of being the granddaughter of Maximo. So one time when we were having a workshop, you know, Dr. Iyo came to give workshops, and I used to work at the education department. And we and him sat down and we debated. And he said, I said, I am a Maya. He said, no, you are an African. I said, Dr. Iyo, I am not an African. I'm a Maya. And he says, look at your hair. Okay, I don't know, I said, but I'm a Maya. And he said, but you still have some African in you. You can't deny that because look at your hair. I won't discuss with him, but I am proud to be a Maya. And I grew up talking with the elders, and I must honor today, along with my grandfather, Mrs. Dolores Velasquez Perez. Her daughter is here representing her, Miss Silvina. You want to say a few words, Silvina?
Spanish.
It's okay.